So hello everyone, this is your Krishna from Women Today YouTube channel. So in this channel, we have been interviewing many women entrepreneurs and working women across different cities in India. And we are just traveling to different cities and we are doing offline interviews. And we have also done online interviews across different cities in India and also across different countries in the world. So today's our guest is from Vancouver, Canada, and her name is Meghna Sharma, and she is a very famous hypnotherapist over there. So I welcome you, Meghna Sharma, ma'am, to this Women Today YouTube channel. So please kindly introduce about yourself, about the kind of professional work that you're doing to the audience who are watching this interview right now, ma'am.
Thank you for having me. So I'm Meghna Sharma. I am a hypnotherapist and a rapid transformational therapist, which is almost like hypnotherapy on turbo. And I have been doing this for, I want to say, about 4 years now. Prior to that, I was in the corporate world, but I wanted something that really fills my soul. So this is really my passion, and I totally love helping people. And the changes that I can see brings me a lot of joy. So my niche is high performers and the issues that they go through, whether it is money, wealth, like going to the next level of wealth, whether it's relationships, because a lot of times when you're focusing just on the chase and success, the relationships take a backseat and it suffers. So that's what I focus on. And of course, the other health issues that come with being a high performer, like anxiety, burnout, sometimes even depression and all of that.
So that's a great introduction from you. So also tell us, ma'am, at what point of time in your life did you decide that you wanted to kind of make a career, a professional career in a hypnotherapist department? Because that's a totally different department. Most of the people, they'll be like not recommending you, and they'll be like either go into an IT sector or either go into other kind of jobs which will fetch you a lot of money. But hypnotherapist is it's a kind of noble job because it's a kind of treatment where you can just enter into the souls of people and you can just kind of converse with them, and you can actually let them know about themselves. So once they're clear, they'll be able to
That
kind of do the work that they really wanted to know, and it will make sure that they travel towards the success. So tell us your inspiring journey, which actually inspired you, the turning point which sparked you to enter into this hypnotherapist kind of field, man.
Yeah, it's a very interesting change. You don't hear that very often, right? And I was in advertising all my life, so completely on the opposite side of the spectrum. I was working with very big brands like Coca-Cola, General Motors, and then, telco. So I was really into the mix of the corporate world. What transpired the change was when I was pregnant. I was like, okay, now I'm in that stage of my life as a mother. I want to spend maximum time with my kids, but I also want to do something that is more fulfilling. Luckily, I'm not going to take that away. I'm very blessed and grateful that money has not been an issue for me, so I didn't have to think about that as what I really needed to pursue at that stage of my life. And then what happened was I did something very interesting. I actually reached out to 20 of my best friends and I asked them, I said, if I had to be in a different career, what did you think it would be? And you won't believe it. Like all the 20 of them said therapist, like each one of them, because I have been doing this for my friends and family way before, I became a hypnotherapist. It has been my core passion. I was always interested in psychology. I actually also have a master's in psychology. So I have been doing all that. But as a career, I decided, okay, this is what really fuels my soul. So the question I would ask, if you really want to know what your purpose in life is, like, of course, there's deeper conversations to be had around that. But the main question is, what would you do for free? Literally, like if I told you that you can do this for free every single day, what would you do? And for me, it was guiding. It was helping people. It was listening to their problems, giving them solutions, and helping them actually believe in themselves. Fall in love a little bit more with yourself, because that is actually what the world reflects back to you. How you feel about yourself is what is reflected in the outside world. So, and then how I chanced upon hypnotherapy specifically is, I have been on the other side as a client. I've always been someone who has invested in my mental health. So I have had therapists in the past. I've had counselors and coaches in the past, because I believe every successful person needs a coach, always, because you cannot see your blind spots, right? You don't know what is holding you back. If you knew it, you might be able to fix it, but a lot of times you just don't know. And then I was Googling and I found RTT specifically, which is Rapid Transformational Therapy. It is founded by this phenomenal lady called Marissa Peer in UK, London. And I went to an RTT therapist and I said, hey, listen, I have this issue. It was procrastination. And I said, I want to solve this because I have this big checklist, all these goals that I want to hit, but I just procrastinate. And I'm like, what is going on? I'm wasting my whole day when I have so much to do. I did one session and you won't believe it. Things changed. And after that, like I was hitting every single goal of mine and I was like really, taking action, taking aligned action. So for me, I think that process really changed, like my approach towards therapy. I was like, therapy doesn't have to be years of going to somebody, speaking about, because I'll answer that question a little deeper in a bit. But hypnotherapy is very different. It is very, very different compared to other forms of therapy. It is really something that can click in a couple sessions, And that's why I did it. Then I sent my husband. I said, you know what? This is crazy. It worked in one session. I don't know if it's just me. Then my husband did it and it worked for him as well. And then I was like, I really need to study how this is done. So that was actually the pivotal moment in my life. So it started off with motherhood. That was the driving force because I wanted to do something. I was like, if I'm going to take away time from my children, I better do something that makes me feel fulfilled, not just chasing money.
Of course, that's a wonderful explanation from you, ma'am, because you were just feeling like, okay, you were just kind of exaggerating or dragging the kind of explanation for my question. But the thing is that that's the kind of answer which I would love to hear, and also at the same time the audience would like and love to hear, because you are just explaining each and everything in a very crystal clear way, and also at the same time you make sure that you always wanted to pursue your professional career in terms of ways that it will make your soul fulfilled, even if it's not going to contribute anyway in terms of revenue. You always wanted to make your soul fulfilled, because that's when you are able to live the life to the fullest potential. Because if we started chasing money, we can just do any kind of work, because within a day we can just earn $1 million. But the thing is that we always wanted to make sure that whatever kind of work that we are doing, even if we are not going to earn some kind of revenue from it, it will make our day, it will make our soul fulfilled for that entire day. So that's what the thing which I also personally follow in my life, that I always wanted to make sure that whatever kind of profession that I'm doing right now, I wanted to make sure that I myself make it in the right way, that whatever things that I'm doing, even if I'm not going to get any results by just generating any kind of revenue, of course I will generate revenue, but in some way or the other way, if that's not going to happen, I won't feel for anything, because I love the job what I'm doing right now. So that's the wonderful explanation from you, ma'am. So also at the same time, I just wanted to know about the kind of certifications that you kind of experience. So how many years have you been practicing this hypnotherapist kind of things? And tell us about your certifications, because most of the people always wanted to know, because they're going to a hypnotherapist, they always wanted to make sure that they're going to a very genuine and trustable kind of persons. I know that you're a very great professional, but to the audience, I would like to tell about you. So tell us about your experience, about the kind of certifications, and also at the same time, there are each and every individuals happening to have a trauma, different kind of traumas facing in their daily issues. So how will you actually tailor each and every client? How will you actually make sure that each and every client coming to you, they get the kind of answers, the kind of remedies which is fulfilled by you? So tell us your experience about this area, ma'am.
Yeah, before I go to that question, I'll just tell you one thing. And the fact is, like, when you are pursuing something that fills your soul, money will come. It always comes. So that is something that, I want everyone to understand, that, you're not choosing between passion and money. Money will follow if you're really doing it for, from the core of your soul. If you're actually doing it, money will come easily. Anyway, so moving on to the question about my certification. So I am a certified hypnotherapist from the RTT school. I have the certification in rapid transformational therapy and coaching as well. So that is the certifications that I use. And of course, this is something that you keep upgrading, right? Like you take a lot of different certifications to keep your knowledge up to date. So I keep doing that as well. I have been practicing it for 4 years now. 4 years now. And then with regards to how I cater my services to each client. It's very, very customized, right? So even, someone comes to me for anxiety is very different from someone coming to me for like, I want love, I want to be in a relationship, versus someone coming to me for an addiction or weight loss, or someone's coming to me for, money, right? And when I'm talking about money, I'm talking about CEOs who are already making $10 million a year, but they want to go to the next level. Like, so when you say money blocks, it is there for everybody. It is not that you're trying, whether you're trying to make your first $100,000 or $10,000 or whatever that is, everyone needs some help in terms of breaking it to the next level, right? So my services are, of course, catered to what they're coming to me for. Now, how I cater it is, depending on, first is how many sessions do you need, right? Like that's where we start. And I always start with 3 months because I think that's the bare minimum for anything to happen. And when I say 3 months, it's only 3 sessions because I only do one hypnotherapy session per month for that person, because there is a bigger process to follow, which is I give them a customized recording with which they listen to every night for 21 days. That cements the changes. Your subconscious is very active for the 10-15 minutes before you go to sleep. So the alpha brain waves are activated. Anyway, I'll go into the details of that later if you want me to, but it's very catered to every individual, right? Depending on what they're coming for. So for example, if someone comes to me for, oh, I'm very scared of dogs. It's really taking away from my life. Like, I can't walk on the street. I can't go to my friend's house because they have a dog, something like that. It's usually one session. That's enough. Okay. Fear of flying.
The kind
A
of fear
lot of
which
people
I'm having
come
right now. I
about
usually,
dogs.
yeah, I usually love dogs, but the thing is that I usually have a kind of fear because even if it's my friend dog, that I'll be making sure that I'm staying a little bit a distance from the dog so that I'll be safe. Yeah, you can just continue now.
And even the fear, it has different levels, right? Like, is it a little bit like you just don't like dogs? That's fine. But some people have panic attacks when
The
they
thing
see
is
a
that
dog, right?
the thing is that I do love dogs because I
Yeah,
love a lot of different breeds of dogs. But the thing is that I make sure that I do not kind of go and have a kind of things with dogs, man.
yeah. And then say for fear of flying, a lot of them come to me because they're scared to get on the plane, and I'm like, okay, that's a one session solve. Like that's not going to take 3 months for me to solve. But if you're coming for deeper issues, and a lot of times, the deeper issues start very, very young, right? Between the first 7 years of your life. That is literally the foundation of everyone's life. What happens from the time you're in your mother's womb to the first 7 years of your life decides literally all your blueprints, whether you're going to have a successful relationship, whether you're going to be successful in marriage, whether you're going to have money. All of that is usually decided in that first 7 years. So, but if I ask you, I said, do you remember what happened when you were 2 years old? You're like, no, I don't remember anything. You don't. So your subconscious holds all the memories. So when you are in hypnosis, everything comes out, and then I'm able to fix it. And then after the first session, I can usually say, hey, listen, you're going to need about 3 sessions or 4 sessions or 6 sessions to actually fix that issue.
That's actually a great thing because as you told that for each and every person, you're making sure that they are actually getting the kind of remedies that they want in their life by eradicating the kind of traumas which they have faced in the past life. Because you are also telling in the middle of the conversation that you always wanted the person to get eliminated the kind of fears that they have in a very fullest potential. So that's the reason why you take a lot of sessions for one person in 1 month. You are just totally concentrating on one person. On the other hand, if they have any small kind of similar fears, it can be just cured within one kind of session. I do accept it now. So also at the same time, most of the people will be having a lot of fears when they come to a hypnotherapist because they are going to go into the subconscious state. What will happen if they are going to expose the kind of things that they don't need to be exposed? And also at the same time, tell us about the kind of confidentiality that you face in your professional work, that you make sure that whatever the kind of clients that come to you, you make sure that their clients' confidentiality is maintained at the fullest potential. So tell us about it, ma'am.
I mean, of course, we have all the paperwork in place, right? We're all bound by an agreement where it's extremely confidential. That is the nature of what I do. Like there is, there is no two ways about it, right? There is no gray area when it comes to confidentiality. It's 100% confidential, right? because we have agreements where we are signing off on it. Secondly, it's a safe space. You know what I mean? It's a complete safe space. This is where people come to open up about their deepest, darkest wounds. So, I definitely create that rapport, that relationship with them where they feel safe to open up. And I think it's one of my core strengths, which is why I've been that person for my friends and family, even before I became a therapist, where they feel safe to actually talk about what they're feeling. The third thing is, when you are in hypnosis, you have the choice to say, I don't want to tell it out loud. And I give my clients that choice because it's not important for me to know, it's important for them to know why they're doing this. So if, for example, something really bad has happened and they don't, or it's usually not what has happened, it's what they have done. So if they have done something really bad in their childhood and they don't want, they feel shame to like tell it to me, I'm okay with that. But I want them to know that that incident has caused this problem today. So as far as their brain makes that link, it's okay if they don't tell it to me. I can usually see the pattern anyway, based on my experience and my knowledge and my skills, that even if they don't tell me about that one specific incident, it doesn't matter to the overall impact and result of the session.
Yeah, that's a wonderful thing. Ma'am, also tell us, ma'am. So, are clients hypnotized against their will? I'm just asking you, will they be, or is it possible that they can be hypnotized with it without the kind of? I'm just not asking you as a professional. I'm just telling, as asking this as a common question, whether a person can be hypnotized and they can make sure that they're coming to a state where they can kind of get the information whatever they want from the clients that they deal with. So tell us about this kind of
Not
experience.
really. In my experience, there have been people who have been resistant, and when they are resistant, it's just an uphill battle, right? So for me, I've realized that the more willing you are, the more easy you are, the more open-minded you are, the easier it is for me to take you to where you need to go to get the answers. Now, I want to really flag this thing because there is a lot of myth about hypnosis. Now, what you see on TV and what you see on stage shows where people are telling, oh, now you bark like a dog or now you're a chicken, it doesn't work like that. Hypnosis just feels like meditation, honestly. Like if I tell you that, hey, take a few deep breaths, close your eyes, and then I talk to you for a little bit, the way you will start talking to me once you are in those alpha brain waves, that's how hypnosis feels. It doesn't feel like something that you don't have control on. At any point, like I have a lot of people who in the session will be like, oh, I need to use the washroom, I want to drink water, and they're okay to do that. So it's not like they're in my control. They're not. They're completely in it's just that you're so relaxed. So imagine this, we are all functioning in beta brainwaves all day, every day. So we are only using 5% of our powers, right? Like because beta brainwaves is just 5, your conscious mind is 5%. You and I are having this conversation. It is so deep, but it's only 5% of our mind that we're using. Okay.
In this,
So
I'm just, it makes me remember of the famous movie Lucy, which is done by Scarlett Johansson. So there will be a scene like what will happen if you use 100% of your brain. So right now we are using 5%. So I think that scene will be involving Scarlett Johansson and Morgan Freeman. So there will be a lot of twists and turns. What will happen if we can just use 100% of our brain? So hope you
yeah,
must have seen that movie now, right?
100%. I haven't seen that movie. No, I haven't
Yeah,
seen that
you
movie.
must see it. The movie name
Okay.
is Lucy, Lucy. It's
Okay.
done by Scarlett Johansson. So it's a wonderful
Sure.
movie because it will just make it. It's just like 1.5 hours, and from the beginning, like what to say, like what humans can do if they use their brain for 5%, and next 10%, 20%, 30, 40, until 100, you'll be just amazed to do that. So yeah, you can
I'll tell
just
you
continue now.
something. Our mind is so powerful. It is so powerful. It is beyond what we can even imagine. Okay, so you can literally, I'm not talking about like big issues like cancer, because that, of course, and even that, it is caused by a certain emotion. Okay, like we are all like functioning in emotions, but our mind can cure a lot of things for ourselves. You know what I mean? I can tell you, I had one session with a client with 80% hearing loss in one ear. Okay, and that within 3 sessions was reduced to 20% hearing loss without anything else. So your brain has decided for some reason that I want to reduce her hearing. Now, why has that happened? Because it's trying to protect you from something. Something has happened in your childhood. You want to zone out of it, and that's why it's like, you know what? And it happens to a lot of kids who are like, when they have parents fighting at home, they want to be like, I don't want to hear this, and then literally your brain is like, okay, you don't want to hear this. I'm going to shut down your hearing. Like, it sounds really crazy, but that's how it works. So I was able to bring it to 20% hearing loss. And that's like, and even when she went for her scans, her ENT surgeon is like, what? Like, how did this even happen? But it's your mind. It's not even me. I'm just guiding your mind. It's ultimately your mind. Right? So I just want, one thing I want everyone to understand is hypnosis is not scary. It's not that I can't make you like transfer me $1 million. It's not going to happen. You know what I mean? It's like, you're very much in control. You're very much in control. You can come out of it. You can drink water during sessions. So it's completely like, it feels like nothing. It just feels like you're closing your eyes and you're talking. The only difference is that you're able to access your subconscious mind, which has all your memories from, like, I have had sessions where the client goes back to being in the mother's womb and is feeling all the emotions of their mother. And as Hindus, we know this is possible, because if you look at the Mahabharata and all of that, Abhimanyu, he learned everything about it when he was in his mother's womb, right? So it's very possible. The two things that a child feels in the mother's womb is hearing. He can hear what's going on, and the feelings of the mother. So if the mother is anxious, the child picks up anxiety. The mother is scared, the child picks up fear. So all of that can happen in the womb. It starts there, sometimes even before.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing. Everything starts at the early stage. Like, there is an experiment with a child. That was the most craziest experiment in the history, because what they have done is they made a baby to listen to a sound, and once the baby listens to that sound, a dog will be barking, and a serious kind of things will be going on continuously. And after that, as soon as the baby starts to see the bell, the fear developed. So, as you said, that every fear starts with the very first 7 years from your child birth. So,
Everything.
yeah, that's how.
The one I would give, if parents can really focus and zone in on the first 7 to 10 years of their life, they've actually done a big part of parenting really well. So after that, the children are almost good to go. So, we really need to understand how impactful those first 7 years are.
So, also tell us, ma'am, what are the kind of results can we expect when we come and meet a hypnotherapist like you? So, also tell us, is there any kind of specific reasons that we should come to you and have a kind of therapy session with you? Or is it like any people, even if it's a normal people, I'm a normal person, and is that I can come to you, and in order to get a better clarity in my life, so I should just upgrade myself? So, can that kind of persons also come to you, or is it like only people who are facing some kind of past traumas, who are seeking some kind of remedies? So that set of persons should come to you. So tell us, what kind of persons can come to you, and what kind of persons can have sessions with you?
Yeah. You brought up a good point. There are two types of people who come to me. One is, people who are dealing with trauma, anxiety, and all of that because of what has happened in their past or what has happened right now. So, for example, say, you have a cheating partner, the amount of trauma that the person goes through is a lot, to deal with that, something like that. But I have a lot of clients who are just coming to me for going to the next level, like, becoming better versions of themselves, becoming the ideal versions of themselves. So there's definitely the two types. But you have to think about it. If your vision, so you say you are here and you want to go here, why are you not able to go?
Because
You want to do it.
we have made our mind to fix like that, because
No, it's because there is something that's holding you back, right? Like, it's ultimately going back to your childhood and going back to your conditioning. It's going back to your beliefs. So whether you have like trauma in the sense of trauma, or you're just not able to go to the next level and you feel stuck, it all goes back to your childhood. It
of
all
course,
goes back to the years of what has
of
happened.
course, that's the conditioning which each and every people just set themselves to the brain. Because what to say, right from the childhood, if we are going to do something, our parents, our relatives, our kind of friends, they'll be coming to us and they'll be saying that you can't do it because it's not generally done by others. They'll be just comparing them to others, and they'll be making sure that they condition that of course they do not do it voluntarily, but they make sure that their children remain in the very comfort zone and in the safer zone. So that's why they tell to people, not only to the children, to friends, to any kind of colleagues, office colleagues, that okay, this is not done by them, and they're making sure that they're conditioning the subconscious mind that they cannot do, and ultimately they even if they're able to do it, they're not able to do it. So that's what it's happening in the reality, ma'am.
Yeah, 100%. Like even if you watch a child in the park, okay, if there is like a young child, say a 2-year-old child, and he's trying to climb something that 4-year-old kids do, if the parent comes and says you can't do it, the child will give up right away. But if you don't say anything and you just watch, you will see that a 2-year-old is already climbing something that a 4-year-old can, because nobody told him that he cannot do it, right? So there's no conditioning, there's nothing that he's trying to. So definitely that, right? And the other thing I want to like really emphasize on, see, the world that you are living in, your relationships, your career, your money, your health, everything, it is just a reflection of your beliefs, right? So if you say, oh, you can't do that, but if you go and tell Ambani might laugh at it. Say, what are you saying, you can't do that? Of course I can do that, because that is his world, that is what he has created for himself. So what you believe and what your reality is might be a joke to other people. So you have to understand that we are only thinking based on our little small world around us, so you need somebody to be able to bring that bigger vision into your life for you to be like, no, that can also happen, right? Like imagine like if Elon listened to somebody and be like, you can't go to Mars, like you can't do it. No, he's like, no, what are you saying? Of course I can. And here we are sitting and thinking about the small things and thinking we can't do it, it's so you have to really open up and be like, hey, listen, my world is very, very tiny. My beliefs are just because of the people I am surrounded by, and they might actually be redundant for someone who's already achieved way more than me, right? So it's all possible. Everything is possible. And the other belief that I really work on with a lot of my clients is that they can have it all. Because I have clients who are in their 50s, 60s, or or 40s, and they are really successful, lots of money, but either poor relationships or poor health. Because somewhere we've all learned you can't have it all. Something has to go. Who told you that? Who told you that? Why can't you have everything? Of course, yes, every area of your life is going to take priority in some aspects, right? Like if this is the time you focus on family, this is the time you focus on your work, but you can have it all. And if you know how to manage it, you'll have everything. But we internally we believe, no, if money is coming, then relationship is gonna go, or health is gonna go, or something's gonna go. But that doesn't have to be like that.
Yeah, I
And if you
totally
look at
understand.
all the celebrities,
Yeah, of course.
especially the
The
celebrities, right?
kind
Like
of
you look at,
Yeah, because whatever things that we are conditioned by the society, we make sure that we just follow them blindly. The thing is that whatever explanation you told was actually good, because the famous Hollywood actor Tom Cruise, when he was just 2 years old, just as a kid, just as a child, what he'll be doing is the words which I'm going to the words which I'm going to tell to you is said by the most famous actor Tom Cruise by himself in a very famous interview. He told that when he was like around 2 years old, what he will be doing is he'll be climbing the stairs, he'll be reaching the top of the home, and he'll be sitting over there at night 2 a.m. like in the midnight, and most of the relatives, most of the neighbors around the home, they'll be knocking the door, and they'll be making sure that they tell the mother that what's your child doing in the roof. So that's how, because even before Laos is a very famous actor, he's doing a lot of stunts. What to say, in the submarine, in the objects, like even in the military aircrafts and in the propeller kind of aircrafts, he's doing a lot of stunts. But the thing is that everything starts from the childhood age, with the kid age. So that's what you're trying to tell, because people who are coming to you, even if they have a lot of traumas in the childhood age, they'll be able to get rid of the kind of traumas that they face by just getting a session with you. I do understand.
yeah, and the thing that I want to flag is, right, that is the difference between talk therapy and hypnotherapy. That's what I was telling you in the beginning, right? So what happens in talk therapy is, yes, you understand why you're doing this, and you get some coaching on how not to do it, okay, whatever it is. But the fact is, my belief personally is that unless and until you go back to where it started, you're just putting band-aid. You're not really like you're putting band-aid on band-aid on band-aid on band-aid. Like that's what talk therapy has been doing, which, it definitely has its benefits. I'm not going to take away from that. But I think with hypnotherapy, because you can actually go back to like you were 2 year olds, like a lot of times in my client sessions that you're an infant and you're crying for your mother and your mother doesn't come and you really start thinking, I'm not important. I'm not loved, which is not true, but it's your mind telling you this story. And then you live with that throughout your life. Throughout your life, you're like, I'm not important, I'm not loved, I'm not whatever. And that shows up in everything you're doing. But it is important to go back to that one time when it started and close the lid on it and be like, no, that's not true. That's okay. That's not important today. We'll remove that. Okay. So I feel like that's where I find that hypnotherapy is a lot more beneficial. And again, you asked me this question about, why should people go to a hypnotherapist? Now, just like now hypnotherapy, astrology, all of they're as good as the person practicing. So I can't say that any hypnotherapist is going to be so good, because like I can't tell you that every astrologer is like 100% accurate. But if you go to a really good one, then you will get a lot of insights, right? So same way, hypnotherapy as a practice is amazing, but of course it depends on the person how skilled they are to get you the results that you want.
So also tell us, ma'am. So if a person wants to come and meet you, so is it only you do the offline kind of sessions, or is it also you do online kind of sessions? Because in hypnotherapist, no one can do any kind of online sessions, I do believe. So that's why I'm asking, as they can't do, right?
All my sessions are, not all, I want to say 95% of my clients are online.
You're telling they're coming in online kind of sessions.
Yeah, it's just like this.
Wow, that's a great, because I always think that okay, whenever you go for a session to a hypnotherapist, they always deal with live people. So that's actually a great message from you, because via this interview, most of the people will be able to know that okay, a professional hypnotherapist can handle clients via online. I do accept it, ma'am. So also when it comes to offline kind of sessions, so is it like only you deal people only in, because right now you are living in Vancouver in Canada, so right now you're dealing only with people in Canada, or is it like you also treat people from India or all around the world? So tell us about your kind of offline sessions. Where are the kind of locations that you deal with sessions with different people, ma'am?
Yeah. So, of course, I have my office in Vancouver. So I have a few clients locally, but most of my clients are America, and then some in Europe and some in Dubai. I'm just starting to speak to people in India right now, but I don't have any clients yet from India. But I'm, worldwide, yes, like 90%, I no, not 90, 75% of my clients are America. So they're not even in Canada. And then I want to say around 20% is probably in Europe and the Middle East. And then 10% would be from Canada, from my local Vancouver.
That's great to know, ma'am. So also at the same time, what will be your wish that you wanted to do in the future? It may be a dream or wish, anything. It may be in the hypnotherapist department, or it may be in anything. So what is the most common dream that you wanted to achieve, which will make your soul fulfilled in your professional and personal life, ma'am?
I think I definitely want to help people in the entertainment industry. I think that is a goal for me personally, for multiple reasons. Like when I say entertainment industry, I mean to say like Bollywood, Collywood, all of the Indian celebrities, right? That is one of my deep interests, because I remember this very specific incident in my life, which actually changed my worldview. I was shooting for a commercial in Bombay with an advertising agency, and I saw one of the actors really break down and cry in the set, and I was like, wow, like I thought this person has it all, like you're an actor, you're beautiful, you have everything, why are you sad? And then it hit me that they're also human beings, and they actually have a lot more pressure than us normal people. So like everything they do is scrutinized, everything is written about. Imagine how much stress that causes, right? Like if someone goes to your YouTube and says something bad in one comment, imagine these people getting hundreds and thousands of this on a daily basis, how their nervous systems feel, right? So I think my dream would definitely to be work with them and help them in any way I can, because it marries my advertising and my love for media and all of that and my passion together.
Of course, I do understand that each and everything which happens in our life is actually kind of network with the kind of work that we do. Because whatever we think, the universe will kind of network each and everything with every. It will connect every dots that you wanted to go and into an entertainment field. You always wanted to be an hypnotherapist, and you always wanted to do some kind of good thing to the people, and all these kind of things come and join with you in a particular dot where you'll be able to fulfill all these kind of things right now. That's actually a
And I
great.
don't have to worry about the how. You know, the how is his problem. I just have to worry about the why, like why it's important to me. And the how, God will figure it out, right? They say let go and let God. So that part is for them to figure out. But definitely, I have full faith that it'll happen.
Yeah, that was a great understanding from you being a hypnotherapist. We got a lot of knowledge regarding how to become an hypnotherapist, what to do in becoming a hypnotherapist, and what are your kind of future aims. I do understand it now. Yeah, great thing, ma'am. So one final question for this interview is very simple. Via this interview, if you want to tell any kind of message to the people who are watching this interview right now, it may be to the kids, it may be to the middle-aged person, it may be to the teenage, it may be to the old-age person. What is the one most common kind of message which you would like to convey to the people who are watching this interview right now, ma'am?
Yeah, I think the most important message that I want to leave everyone with is that, you know, your beliefs make your reality. So you really, if something is not working for you, you have to see it's some belief within you that is making your world like this. The minute you change those beliefs, like really truly, not just affirmations, not just telling in the mirror, I'm good, I'm good, I'm good, because sometimes when you say that in the mirror, you feel inside that's not true, but actually from a core level, if you're able to believe differently, your reality will change. It's very, very simple. It's very, very easy, but it's also very, very hard to do by yourself. So get the help that is needed to make that change happen, and everything around you will change. Everything is available to you: money, wealth, health, relationships. It's all available to you. You have to feel worthy of receiving it. It's not you going to it, it's actually becoming that version of yourself, and that will come to you automatically.
Of course,
So
that's a very simple message, and also at the same time, it's a very powerful message. Because what to say, if anybody wants to become something, they should make sure that they believe that they are already have achieved
there.
whatever they want. But only when they just believe that they actually have achieved the things that they want in life, they'll be acting in the way that they are, and it will attract things that what it actually. So the universe will make sure that okay, this person is already believing in himself that he is a millionaire. So it will make sure that he gets money lot,
100%.
like the universe is going to bless them with $1 million or a million Indian rupees or something like that, because they are actually
Yeah.
resonating in a frequency that they're already a millionaire. So also the same time, the words which are told by you are repetitively said by the famous Hollywood. I mean, he's a Bollywood star all across the world. He is very famous, none other than the superstar Shah Rukh Khan, because he always, whenever he gets up from his bed, he always tells that I'm the best, I'm the best, I'm the best. Of course, there are a lot of people who is more better, best than him, but he always makes sure that he is the best, because only when he says this kind of things to himself, he makes sure that whatever works, he does it to the fullest potential. So that's how he is able to become the biggest star in the world. So in the same way, yes, tell me. Ma'am.
Cannot become the best unless you believe you're the best. You cannot become the best. I always say, you know, Kobe, right? Like the basketball player Kobe Bryant. So, you know, he knew his potential before the world realizes his potential. If you don't think you're the best, 100% nobody's ever going to think you're the best. It's not going to happen. So your identity of who you are making your identity, and the world will receive you. If you think, oh, I'm just okay, I'm just a 6 on 10, the world will say, yeah, you're not even a 6 on 10, you're a 4 on 10. So if you go in and say, I'm a 10 on 10, I am perfect, I'm the best, I am the best, one, you will show up like that. Second, you will put in the effort to be like that, right? Third, you will really make sure that you're protecting that image of yours, so you're going to do that much more for that, right? So you nailed it. It is about becoming that person. It is about believing in yourself more than anything else. Don't wait for the world to come and tell you that you're the best. You believe that you're the best.
Yeah, of course. As you told that even consider like Bryant or consider like Shah Rukh Khan, everybody kind of believe in themselves. So only when they believe in themselves, so everything acts accordingly. They'll be acting according to the kind of things that they wanted to kind of attract in their life. And also the universe kind of gives them the reward by just giving them, because they actually do believe in everything, that whatever kind of professional work that they're doing. So thank you once again, ma'am, because it was a great pleasure having you in our YouTube channel. So people who are watching this channel, so please do subscribe and please do click on the bell icon so that you can receive further notifications whenever I do post new videos regarding women entrepreneurs and working women across different cities in India and also across different countries in the world. So I'll mention her name because today's our guest is from Vancouver, Canada. Her name is Meghna Sharma, and she is a very famous hypnotherapist in Vancouver, Canada, and she is doing a lot of online sessions regarding hypnotherapist, and also across in Canada, she is doing offline sessions. And today's new host is Krishna, hosting this Women Today YouTube channel. So once again, thank you, Meghna Sharma, ma'am, for having me in this and allowing me to host you in this Women Today YouTube channel. That was a lot because we received a lot of information about hypnotherapist, and that was great, ma'am. So once again, good evening, ma'am. Have a nice day. So wishing you all the best for your kind of future ventures in this hypnotherapist department, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Pleasure.